Good morning, friends, and welcome to... Wait a second, this isn't Stuttgart at all. Indeed, we are standing in the great state of Schleswig-Holstein. And right over there is the border to the free and Hanseatic city of Hamburg. Welcome to my most ambitious undertaking yet. Welcome to Urs Adventures Season 2. This is Hamburg No Roads. Let's go!
Who was jumping every fence and climbing every tree? Who was always going places where they're not supposed to be? Who was friends with every bird? Who was tearing their pants? Who was sneaking through the city, always getting garden plants? Who always has a vision but not always a plan? It's time for Urs Adventures again.
We have now entered Hamburg. Gonna have to do a little hop, skip and a jump. And over here. And with that, we have skipped over Luruper Moorgraben and can continue into this little park, which I believe is called Born Park. Okay, if you're a regular viewer, you already know what the No Roads mission is all about. But in case you're new here, first of all, hi, happy to have you. You might be wondering what I'm talking about. My goal for this No Roads mission is to cross the entire city of Hamburg from west to east, without ever walking along a road that is for cars. Which means I can cross roads, that's inevitable, but I can't walk on or along them. So I'm limited to parks, footpaths, pedestrianized areas, all sorts of private property and the like. It is a beautiful April morning as I'm filming this. The birds are out in full force, there's the robins and the woodpeckers and the tits and everyone else. It is a concert, I want to say. And I'm already getting a bit warm in my jacket. I think that will go pretty soon. Here we are, crossing our first little street, but we're going immediately back onto the footpath. I should probably mention that I'm not the first person to try this for Hamburg. That honor belongs to a YouTube channel called Kilibanko, or Chilibanko, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, who tried it last year or 2 years ago, and they had a great attempt. I will link the videos below, but they had to use some roads, so at the end they got like 95% no roads, which is a very impressive score, but it is one I will try to beat. I want to go for a platinum perfect 100% no roads run. Nevertheless, their attempt will definitely remain the more athletically impressive, because they did it all in one day, which I won't be able to do. I don't have the stamina, my phone definitely doesn't have the battery for it, and I definitely can't make entertaining content and yap at you for like hours and hours straight. And I want this to be, you know, a fun time that we have together. And this building looks definitely very funky. Public art. We are currently in a part of Hamburg called Ostdorf. That belongs to the borough of Altona, and that's the one that we entered Hamburg in. And now we're about to cross over into another borough by the name of Lurup, or another Stadtteil, whatever. We are going to have another first, namely the first fence climb of the journey, because we want to get over to the other side of that desolate area. And for this, as you can see, I did not have to put my phone down to get over that fence, because we have a new member of the Urs Adventures team, which is what I'm filming on right now. It is a little handle. It's also extendable, so you can see me from like further away. Oh, look at that! Which will help me film, and which is much easier to hold in my hand while I'm doing things with my hands. So hopefully that will increase the quality of action shots in this series. We want to get over here to the side of the next creek. Okay, the other fence you're getting the opposite perspective. Let's see if that works. Did that look good? Probably not. We're back at Moorgraben. And isn't a bit of nature just the nicest thing you can have on a nice day of spring? Have a listen. The Hamburgers really like putting bollards in the randomest places. There's just one next to the creek, all alone. Next up, we're going to go on top of a little parking garage. Just so we don't have to use this, which is probably also not a road. It just leads to these few houses here. But this is much more fun. Also, look at that absolutely historic fire truck. Isn't that amazing? It says Stadtloin, little coat of arms. It is absolutely ancient. It has got little crocheted hats. It's a really cool find. Okay, no dilly-dallying. We have some ground to cover. And no, a parking garage is not a road. A road is, I would define it as a paved surface where cars can go that has a street name. And while cars can go on a parking garage, it doesn't have a street name. So, not a road, but a parking lot. Okay, now a little side creek, I think it's called Müllergraben or something. Which doesn't look like it has a ton of water flowing there. May I introduce to you a recurring feature of this mission? Kleingärten, little allotments. There's tons of them in Hamburg. They seem to be even more popular here than they are in Stuttgart. Although there's some noticeable differences. If you remember, in Stuttgart any allotment usually has a fence at least yay high with like at least one, better 3 layers of barbed wire on top of it. Whereas Hamburg's, little hedge, little gate, short fence. Certainly it makes Stuttgart's heavily fortified ones look even more silly by comparison. Next road crossing, and we're gonna be strict / cautious. We're going to take a little detour here, just so our crossing is less diagonal. Ah, wait, no, stop. Go back. Okay, as settlement grows denser, we have to get a bit sketchier. So this is the path I was on, but it leads out on the road and there's like too much distance between where I have to go. So I have to detour right here. And that means, unfortunately, our first barbed wire fence. Now we can easily cross the street and go right into the little path we want to go. From the path, over the street, into the next path. And this is where things start to get really sketchy, and I have to hope that people are still asleep or otherwise haven't bothered to get out into their allotments yet. Looks calm so far. Because that gate there at the end is where we're going to have to pass through or around or over. Where we want to go is through there and over to the left into an abandoned lot over there. So let's see. No, this is locked, so around it is. and out here. Sorry. There's brambles. Okay, we made it. As you can see, this thing here is abandoned. There's nothing here. There was a sign somewhere that says, oh, this is video surveilled. I don't believe it. I don't see any camera. I think the only person filming anything here is me. But overall, this went very well. No one was there. And so no one will ever be bothered about it because they're not gonna watch the video probably. Now I have to go get out here. These look a bit tall, so I'll just go via here. Hopefully that works. I'm going to get away. I'm gonna get away before anyone gets in the mood to ask me questions. So this, I believe, is called Park. It's behind the first row of the Lurup Main Street houses. We're going behind the Lurup Center, etc. I'm already sweating. In the mood for some mini golf. I feel like this type of housing with like these long 3 or 4 or 5-story blocks all in a row with common green space in between is very common in Hamburg, and is one that is obviously very conducive to a no roads mission because it affords public paths between the houses, which is very nice of the Hamburg city planners of the past century to consider. Oh, no mini golf. Have you heard of a thing called Baum? Look at the Nierenfleck-Zipfelfalter and the Eichen-Zipfelfalter. I love trees. Source in the corner. At this point here, there's kind of 2 paths I could take. The original plan was to trespass onto that industrial area and then back out the front where the street is, but like the front fence is like tall and spiky, and that's like very sketchy. Also, if there's like literally anyone there, I would get in trouble. So we'll try to follow this square path and see if we can get a not too diagonal road crossing over to the allotments on the other side. I don't know if I've properly explained the crossing a road diagonally thing. So like I said, I'm allowed to cross roads, and if absolutely necessary, I'm allowed to cross a road slightly diagonally, but there's like a hard limit for the side-to-side translation that I'm allowed to do there, and the hard limit is like 20 or 25 meters. I think it's 20 meters. So if I cross a road too diagonally so that I end up walking along it for more than 20 meters, that is immediately a failure of the original goal. We can still call it then a gold run instead of a platinum run, or whatever the terminology there would be. So that's what we are going to attempt here. Obviously I can't go straight, that would lead me directly onto the road, but just ever so slightly diagonally this way, there's allotments. I mean, there's also like a police car back there, which I don't like. Okay, I've now waited for 2 minutes and the police has left, so I don't know what they were doing here. Turns out our road crossing is barely diagonal at all, it's pretty straight. Only problem is there is a fellow tending to his allotment approximately where I want to go. So we'll see if we can sneak around. So right over there to the left. Okay, I think I got the right timing. And I think I just chose the right moment when he was looking the other way to like walk past him on the neighboring allotment, which presumably he knows who his allotment neighbors are. And now I made it into here. These people have a whole ass beach scene with like swings and hammocks. Oh, looks great. I'm sure they're great party hosts. Okay, next we're going to learn about floodwater management, a very important but often overlooked part of urban planning. And if you know where to look, you will find all throughout the infrastructure, the basins and everything that are meant to capture excess rainwater. And we're going to cross this little street onto this area we're not supposed to go, because that's used for excess rainwater management. Just a quick note, this is the handle that I'm using. It can also extend to become very long, and the handle can fold out to become a tripod stand. I took my phone out of it a second ago just because if you're like trespassing somewhere where you're not supposed to go, the standard excuse is obviously, oh sorry, I didn't know what I was doing, got lost, I just thought there was a way through here. And if you're carrying something around with this, obviously filming, everything you do looks much more intentional, and it's much harder to get away with an excuse like that. But now I have to put it back in because we have to go over a fence. So over the fence we go. This is a bit of a harder one. Here we are. This is the basin. Last time I was here, it was snowing, or like there was snow on the ground. So A, this was much fuller, there was more water. And B, today, no one can see my footsteps. Convenient stepping stone is convenient. I have lost count of how many fences I've jumped already, but maybe there'll be a count in the corner. I don't even know what this area is, if this is public, if this is private, if this is municipal, or what it's used for. Hey, Mr. Jackdaw. Do you know how to cross Hamburg without any roads? Yes, you do, because you can fly. Well, that's cheating. And between these oaks, then we find a little creek called the Schießplatzgraben, and behind that, not only will we have left Lurup and be entering Bahrenfeld, ouch, but we'll also be entering Altona's main cemetery. Oh, that is a scary looking fence. Good thing it doesn't exist on this side of the tree. We will be at the big cemetery. Just have to figure out a way to get in and over. Let's try here, but again, you need to be careful. That is barbed wire. That is a second fence, but one we can easily surmount, especially if we have such a nice cherry tree to branch to hold ourselves to. Here's a big meadow with 2 chairs for you and your friend, and a third one for the person you also had to invite but don't really want to hang out with. The creek and the cemetery are only over there. I was a bit premature with that earlier. And there's also a little cuckstool on the other side of the fence. Okay, that fence does look a bit more imposing than I would wish. But let's see it from closer up. Wow, stop shouting. Okay, no spikes on this fella. Creek bed also dry, so no actual hindernis here. Hello. Okay, now we should be on the cemetery. Yes, I am starting to see gravestones. I'll obviously not like go around filming people's graves. That's not how we do things here. But it is a nice enough park. The cemetery has a very beautiful, big and open design. Like there might be a grave over here between some bushes, and the next grave won't be until like several meters on the other side. And I think it's very nice. It gives it much more of a park with some graves in it feeling, rather than like a cramped everything in one row cemetery like you often find on smaller cemeteries. It won't be the last cemetery we will go through on this mission. I think there might be at least one or two more. But for now, our mission is to get through it on as straight line as possible and to pop out the other end so we can get into Volkspark. I'm also noticing I have not seen a single person in the cemetery. I wanted to say I haven't seen a single soul, but that might be inappropriate. I guess the cemetery should be open. It's a normal Saturday. But I guess that shows how generously spaced this all is, that you can tend to your graves and not even see a single other person the entire time you do. Hello, Comrade Crow. Oh, and look at the cherry trees. Honestly, this little altar between the magnolia trees looks more like the scene for a wedding than for a funeral. Also, you can't see this obviously, but you can smell it. This is like the odor of like 10 magnolia trees plus all their leaves. You can really, really smell it in the air. By the way, I did see some people back in the central alley where the cherry trees were, but now again, this side of the cemetery, again, complete solitude. Now it's unfortunately time for us to leave this quite nice place, for a place that is supposed to be about the dead and mourning. This is inspires a lot of joy on a nice spring day. But over there is Stadionstraße, and we will hop that fence, and on the other side begins Volkspark. As you can see, attachment points for barbed wire, but that barbed wire I think hasn't existed for a long time. We are going to make our way over if we can. Okay, there we are. And over into Volkspark. Now, the football fans among you will know Volkspark as the location of the Volksparkstadion, the football stadium of the HSV, Hamburg's probably biggest, most successful football club. I don't think we'll get to see it properly. It's like to our left there behind the trees. That over there, the building, you might be able to see some outlines. But yeah, that's where the HSV plays. I often take a bus that goes past there, and then if there's a ton of people in HSV garb, I always know, okay, club is playing today. Shut up, plane. And here in front of us, we have what is probably the steepest incline we'll have to climb today. So Hamburg, like most of northern Germany, is pretty flat, which is nice if you want to cycle, which would be nice if you had a bike and it wasn't like stolen a few weeks ago. But here in Volkspark, I don't know, it goes up and down quite a bit. They have the little system of bridges that go over the roads, so the fans can like come to the stadium without having to cross any roads. So very much a no roads friendly kind of setup that they've been going for here. I have to check which direction I actually have to go. From here, from Volkspark, there's actually several different places you could no roads to. One is you could make your way down past Daisy, the German electron synchrotron, very cool research institution. Even if you don't know what a synchrotron is, the name already tells you that's going to be something very cool. And go there, past there, through Lise Meitner Park, through the botanical garden of the university at Klein Flottbek, and then all the way down through Jenisch Park, all the way down to the Elbe. And then, you know, walk along the Elbe beach for miles, either towards the city or out until you pop out of Hamburg between Wedel and Rissen. You can come past Blankenese and everything like that. But obviously, we're not going to do that. We're not going to enter the city in the west and leave it in the west again. And we're also not going to go through a series of parks and cemeteries that would lead us all the way to Diebsteich, which is, you know, maybe the closest to the inner city we can get, because that's a dead end. Our trip will lead us around the north of Hamburg, just because the city center is really impenetrable in terms of no roadsing, so no cool glamour shots of the tourist attractions the way you saw in Stuttgart or Ludwigsburg. This is the best shot you're going to get of Volksparkstadion. You see the blue, white and black of the HSV and their diamond-shaped logo everywhere. But we will head deeper into Volkspark because we are taking the path to Stellingen. By the way, the plane noise is only going to get worse the further we go into the north of Hamburg, where the airport is. It's not even that busy of an airport, but it's still pretty constant noise. And that is approximately the direction we'll have to go. But before all that, hello and welcome to Or's Cozy Corner, where I'm using my little handle thing as a tripod stand and seeing if that works out. It seems that we have not only entered Bahrenfeld, not only entered the Volkspark, but in fact entered a very special place. We have entered the snack zone. Yes, it is lunchtime, I was getting hungry. I found this nice little pavilion decorated with graffiti, so it is time to see what we have in store lunch-wise. I have packed a little lunch featuring some kohlrabi, banana, and some bread with cheese and hummus and fig jam. And then I also got some water, and otherwise I don't have much in my bag except for today's read, which is Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. No one does it like Vonnegut. Well then, I'll have my lunch, and I will see you after. Squirrel. Okay, my phone may be down to 50% battery, but I am restored to full health, and I know where to go. Because we are making our way to Stellingen, which will be a bit of a sketchy section. There's at least one fence crossing in there that I do not like at all, and that might just not work and thereby kill the mission. Here's the little system of bridges that connects pedestrians and cyclists to the stadium. I think we have to go here. The cars are all going down there. It's kind of a two-tier system with the car streets on the bottom and the cycle and footpaths on top. Here you can have an insight into the mind of the HSV fans. Telling you all about how much they love their club and they hate the football club from Bremen and also St. Pauli, Hamburg's other first-tier football team at time of recording, who have a stadium further towards the inner city at the Millantor, next to the Heiliggeistfeld. But we won't come by there. No way to No Roads over there. We are going around the north. Over there, I think they're building some sort of new waste management plant. I think it already looks much more complete than last time I checked.
All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon as we poison the pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my dear sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park.
I do want to stress that was a joke. Oyster Adventures is and stays a staunchly pro-bird channel. Oh wow, an Airbus 321 flying to Gdansk. I promise this is not going to become a plane spotting channel. I mean, shut up, Wizz Air. Now we've almost arrived at the S-Bahn Stellingen. And you can see there's an ICE standing there. It shouldn't be, this is not an ICE stop, it's just for some reason the tracks are blocked in front of it, presumably. And it has this very nifty tunnel, as you can see, pedestrianized, no road. And this has some of the coolest graffiti that I have yet seen in the city. Look at this. Look at the detail on that. What's this one? And I was very concerned about this first part of the tunnel, because we just came out here. Tunnel continues here, because this is kind of some Deutsche Bahn commercial yard by Deutsche Bahn, and so this is the access road for that. And so I thought, well, if this is the access road and cars can just drive here, is it a road? That which would have killed the mission. It would have no longer been possible. But it isn't. It is a pedestrianized zone that some cars are allowed to drive through if they have permission. Look at this! And look at her! Absolutely stunning work. And this sign here on the other side says this is all pedestrianized. So we're all good. Now we're in front of the S-Bahn Stellingen. Cool bike racks, not a road. And we will see if a certain door is open, and I've never seen it locked. So we're gonna hope for the best. This is also locked. That's bad. We will have to climb that. I've retreated a bit, so I'm not seen loitering in front of it. But yeah, that is not what I was hoping for. I've never actually seen it, both doors completely locked. Update, I'm still standing here. There's like so many people here. It's it's the front of a train station. It's very busy. And there's like buses and everything. And there's like people standing in front of it, like having a beer or something. So I think I might have just like go there and do it without visibly filming, just hidden camera, and just pretend that I'm allowed to do that. This is filming, yes. Oh, it's filming in the wrong direction. Great. I'll just go out here and immediately here. Okay, I think that filming didn't go well, but I did climb over the tall fence. They were just like, the folks that were standing there were just leaving and no one like batted an eye. And then over another fence into a sort of communal back garden, out the gate, and now I'm here. And now, a part that I'm looking forward to very much. Okay, so we're quickly gonna cross two roads. Like so. and then immediately cross the bigger road. Control Z, Control Z. Let's go. Okay, I did Control Z, Control Z, and just crossed the big road straight. That's nicer anyway. I was looking for a specific thing in this beach hedge / fence, and I didn't find it. Should be here, but I'm not quite sure where. So maybe like plan B-ish. Okay, I'm now between the hedge and the fence, and I'll just have to climb over the fence into the Stellingen cemetery. Okay, that was a very wobbly fence, very sketchy climb. I'm glad I didn't tear any clothes. There's now some beach leaves caught in my little pteranodon pin, and we're now inside. What I was looking for was a hole in the fence. There was a hole in the fence, which it looks like they must have fixed. It might have been right here. You can see there's kind of something, there's kind of a separate wire threaded through. I had discovered that, and that had made me very happy, because it could have gone through there without having to climb the fence, but it's fine, I could climb it. Let's get through Stellingen. Oh, there's a rabbit. Don't think you could see it, but there definitely was a rabbit. Okay, so we're gonna exit the cemetery just through the main gate, and then immediately cross over into like a second smaller part of the cemetery, past the cemetery administration building. And oh, it looks like the gates are just open here. Did I? Oh yeah, for some reason I thought I had to come out of that gate, and that would have meant jumping over a fence next to the cemetery administration building here. But actually, through the separate smaller gate here, it just leads directly onto this other part of the cemetery. There's a nice brick church. Not my favorite brick church in Hamburg. I am a big lover of brick churches. But, you know, we are under the watchful eyes of God doing our crimes, I suppose. In fact, I think this is where we cross over to that in construction playground. Sorry, God, I just got a Psalm 18 verse 30, this one. And over there. Okay, this playground is under construction. I'm not supposed to go through there, but unfortunately I have to. Which I'm of course terribly sad about. But look how pretty they made it. You know, some flowering trees, nice benches, a little enclosure for the kids, and a blue and red thing which I don't think is quite finished. I don't think that post should just stand there by itself. Also, when we crossed into Stellingen, we have officially entered the borough of Eimsbüttel and left Altona. That's like the bigger boroughs, and then Stellingen, Bahrenfeld, and the other things I mentioned were the subdivisions of that. Okay, our way is over there. We're going to quickly jump over the fence into the yard of the firefighters. Their gates obviously always open, because sometimes they have to leave real quick, and then right over the fence on the other side. I think I'll have to take out my filming gizmo for this one again. Okay. Ooh, this is not well attached. It's wobbling over here. Attach that properly, guys. Hello, firefighters. Then over the street, straight into this. The door's not gonna be open, I can forget that. I don't know if this belongs to anyone or who this belongs to, if this is public, but I don't think anyone cares if I go through here. Don't stand around. Okay, parking lot. Now I think over the parking lot of the restaurant Dubrovnik. Over here, that's the big road. Going to visit the horse. A horse is a horse, of course. And then I will probably go through here. I will quickly check my map. Oh, there's more animals. Didn't even know. Shit's always locked. Okay, so this is not the sidewalk of the road. That one's over there. We are just kind of in a parking lot, front yardish area. The sidewalk is over there. Okay, and then over here into there. I'm just gonna go in front of the houses there. This is a hugely busy road, so I had to like wait for quite some time before I could cross it. Let's go through here. Maybe even around the other side. My anxiety is increasing because we are quite rapidly approaching probably my least favorite obstacles of the entire mission, probably, where we have to basically climb from a private property into a private property over a fence with some thickets, in more or less plain view of like several houses. At least not from the road or anything, but that's a good fence. But unfortunately they left a gap here. I think this might also be a case for putting the gizmo away, just so whatever I do looks less intentional. Okay. Look at this tree. I think this is my spot. Another one of these really bad climbs, they would just like roll over the fence and get caught with every part of your clothing. Okay, now here's a private house and I'm just gonna run past it. Okay, we stay winning. My God. I mean, it probably didn't look like much, but this was like next to a house. It was a multi-family house, so again, it's not anyone's personal private grass that I was stomping over there. But that was not enjoyable. But it enables us, of course. It enables us to cross this road straight into this path. Okay, we are emerging here to, as I expected, fences. I think these also used to be allotments, Kleingarten, but we can't increase our allotment counter, which I assume is the thing that we have, because this is probably being developed, maybe into housing, which is good. We like new housing, but we'll have to see if we can just walk across there, which I think we can. I think when I checked, and this says Hochspannung Lebensgefahr, I think I'm gonna be fine. We'll see. I don't know if this is a shortcut, but it will probably save me climbing over the wobbly fence. Yeah, okay. Open access. Let's try not to get electrocuted, however that is supposed to be a threat. There's an excavator. There's big mounds of dirt. We want to get over there and we'll have to get to the street at the correct point so we can cross it into the next set of allotments on the other side, which hopefully still are allotments and haven't been torn up. Oh god. Little mud level here. Maybe here, maybe. Bathtub, important. In case you get dirty during your missions. To go a bit along the fence for a bit longer. Oh, green sludge. I think we might have to go mountaineering up here. Oh, this is also rolly. Okay, maybe along the fence. Okay, this should be the spot. We've surmounted the fence. Now on the other side of this should be the entrance to the other allotment. Let's see. Okay, but we see more fences. Betreten der Baustelle verboten. Even those allotments have been torn up and out. But I think you can still see like the hedges, and behind that would have been the allotments. This would have been the path. There's some fences. There's like a hut still standing over there. But yeah, maybe the era of the Kleingarten is coming to an end. Maybe we're lucky and we can just walk along the fence because we have to go there and then left. Eerie, there's like remnants of civilization. There's a little lantern, there's a little metal plate thing here. Clear sign of people having built themselves something small here. But no, it had to go for reasons that I could probably research, but have not. Apparently no such luck, we have to get up there, but we'll have to go there through here somehow. Ugh. Okay, this fence was quite rusty and I was kind of scared of cutting my fingers open with a rusty edge, which would be obviously very unfortunate. But this nice quince tree here gave me a little foothold, so not a big challenge in the end. Okay, we are clear that this is not a road, yes. We are into the Kleingarten. Flag check. Hamburg. HSV. The Kingdom of Castilla y León? Yeah, I love these Kleingarten. I know I sound like I'm annoyed by their existence, but that's not true. I do love them. I think they're a great thing. And obviously they look lovely this time of year. Oh, they even have their own flag. Like the top flag, that is a Hamburg logo with a shovel over it on a green, white and orange field. That is very funny. Okay, my plan was a bit imprecise down at the road because that was like a diagonal line through and said it's all Kleingarten on both sides. It's fine, but I mean they don't necessarily align the paths. But I got lucky, or maybe I checked it on Street View. There's this little meadow, there's a circus. There's some dogs, and the way to the road is just open. It's just a line of cars, so we can get through there and onto the correct path in the next Kleingarten.
Ja, alles klar. Ich bin hier, ne?
Okay, I haven't checked this part out before, so I hope this just works the way my map suggests it. Just to go there and then kind of diagonally off to the right. Sure? Question mark. There's some path here. Yeah, okay, we're all good. I think this is where we need to go. Lovely. I think there's like letters on the ground. They're very hard to read. These might in fact be the names of all the people who lived here when they, or who lived in these lived in this housing stock when the bricks were laid. Because this one says Desiree, this says Melanie, like it's all very normal names here. Okay, there's a playground. Be careful not to film anyone's children. Ooh, there is a ambulance with blinking lights. None of our business. Well, this is closed. I don't know. Okay, gonna have a little ride. Wow, this is difficult one-handed. Okay, enough fun. Okay, now we're back into the Kleingarten, on the other side of the playground, and we are at a crossroads. We will have to go over here and take a, what I would call, pretty massive detour, because this alternative path, it would have been so nice. This one goes like through some allotments, and then like trespassing on 2 sports fields, going out by some secret back door, and going on the, and then through the area of the Eppendorf University Hospital, and then through some other pretty cool backyards. But unfortunately, it's a dead end. It does not connect to where we need to go. So as fun a path it would be to walk and maybe also to film, that's not what we're going to get. We are going to take a much longer, also very picturesque route that takes us a good deal further north, as you will see on the GPS map. And unfortunately, in this kind of nowhere in particular, in between allotments, little path, is where we will have to call it for today. I could probably keep going a while longer, but my phone is on like 14% battery. It will not make it much longer, and I still have to like get home somehow. We will probably just go until the end of the path, until we actually get to any sort of street or road, and we will recommence exactly at the point where we left off. So there is a continuous no roads path at the end of this endeavor. And with this, we end at the corner of Beethovenallee and Wieselinstraße, having just emerged from this non-roads path, and we might start the next episode with quite a bit of excitement. See you then.